Live from LaVell Edwards Stadium, BYU football just wrapped up their spring scrimmage.
There's a spot to my left that is unoccupied by one Bronco Mendenhall who is waiting for his traditional snacks.
Now listen, if you're not familiar with the story.
He's right behind on the set waiting.
Yes, I met Bronco Mendenhall
can hear every word we're saying
last
right now.
year at the media day during the summer.
That's where it began.
We met in the green room.
The legend of the snacks.
I was eating snacks, and he said, "Oh, hey, green room snack guy." And so that's how it got started.
I'm not sure he knows your name yet.
No,
it's
I
just
don't
green
know
room
if he does.
snack guy.
So every time when I would do an interview with Bronco Mendenhall, I would bring him some sort of snack, and that would determine the greatness of the interview.
We learned later that there's levels of interview, like he'll give you more information based on what he gets. Jalapeno being at the top. Is that right? Jalapeno's at the top? Okay.
Very top.
We're literally waiting. We have someone running to get him snacks, and then he'll come up. We can't wait to talk to him.
If there were any question about whether this is live or not, it has been out. This is live.
Yeah. Yeah. In the meantime, let's promote the Y Awards.
I dropped the ball. I didn't bring the
Normally, you're the guy that brings the snacks.
Fail. And I am being
he's coming
punished.
up. No snacks, but he's coming up.
I am taking responsibility.
Upset. You thought Dayton in the Elite Eight was an upset. Bronco Mendenhall is coming up here without snacks. By the way, Y Awards, Wednesday, April 2nd, 9 Eastern, live on BYU TV, hosted by the cast of Studio C. It's going to be awesome. You going to be at the Y Awards, Bronco?
I am, actually.
Yeah.
And by the way, we expect to see the snacks delivered in person, and then our viewership can determine what kind of interview I had to give. And then they'll have better understanding. If it's short and really not personal, they'll just look right at the snacks and say, well, no wonder.
We have no say over the snacks, so I can't wait to see what snacks you give.
Who's we? Are you two a team, or is it just you?
Generally, I'm the
crew.
captain of that snack crew, but
Yeah.
I failed.
Do you know his name?
So that was what I just heard right there. That would be based on how the team played. Well, I have no control over how it went, but that was kind of what you just did.
We, the team, the crew. I don't know what we're bringing up.
Why not?
I know that they bring. Why
If you
not?
want a quality
We've been busy
interview,
doing a television program.
If you want
Bronco.
a quality interview, why not take care of the details?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
I will take the accountability right there.
You're in mid-season form right now.
Wasn't there an apology that you were supposed to give to before I came on?
I mentioned something about the peanut gallery.
And who was that? Was that with me you were talking about?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So the thought that there's going to be any quality to this interview at all, there's probably zero chance of that. But would you like to ask me any questions?
I would love to do that.
You were in mid-season form. This is the end of spring. You're way ahead of the game right now.
You don't get enough credit for your sense of humor,
Thank you
Coach.
very much.
You do not get enough credit for that.
It is so dry, I'm going to have a drink of water, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bronco Mendenhall joining us on set at the spring football special. Coach, scrimmage just wrapped up. We've had Coach and I and Coach Hal talking about guys flying around and how excited they were to see the energy there. What did you see from your perspective on the field today?
Man, I saw 102 plays with not very many injuries, which is a great thing for spring. Saw Taysom Hill, 66% completion percentage. I saw enough points to make me happy. Protection held well enough. He delivered the ball accurately and effectively and on time. And then I saw Kurt Henderson, Nick Kurtz, Taron Houck, and some others make some nice catches downfield. Michael Davis emerged on a long play. So it's nice to not only have the timing throws and the possession throws and the completion percentage, but it's nice to have some downfield shots also.
Bronco Mendenhall is on BYU Sports Nation. Is that what you wanted to see out of the spring scrimmage, is what you saw today?
You know, it was more than what I thought. I thought we'd only get about maybe 60-ish plays.
And you got 102?
102, which was great. Having a Pac-12 crew here was fantastic.
They didn't blow any calls today?
I can't say that, but it was great to have a Pac-12 crew here today and to manage the tempo and timing of the game.
They can't find you.
Exactly right. At least not now. Anyway.
Not right now. You're good. You're clear.
There is some snacks that they've been known to try to. Never mind. Anyway, we have a good team and we got a lot done.
And that's the goal.
Bronco Mendenhall, the head football coach of BYU, on with BYU Sports Nation. Coach, you obviously are a defensive specialist, and everyone talks about the job you've done there, and rightly so. You've done an incredible job raising this program up. But interestingly enough, you've said that you spent the majority of your time during the spring practices with the offense. Why the transition there?
Great chance to learn. I want our program to reach elite level. There's national level, and then there's a level within that. And I would love to have enough influence on our program at all the critical moments in time and setting direction, regardless of what side of the ball. And so from the minute the season ended until now, I've been with our offense. I'll join the defense again, most likely at the beginning of fall camp, and continue what we already have going there, which Nick is doing a great job. But it's fun to be able to spend more time with the offensive players and offensive coaches. It would be very similar in a family that you spend, even though you love all your kids the same, you spend all your time with one. And so it's great for the offensive players to know I care about them, am interested in our offensive coaches, so I can develop a relationship there, and this seemed to be a good time.
Speaking of good time, now's a good time to give you the candy, the homage. And we brought a ton of it.
So what I see that we went with here, so we're going for volume rather than really the quality.
102 plays. That's
but this isn't 102. And if you're going to go for bite size, then you might want to go a bite per play. And I don't think there's 102. And so the interview's over, basically. I'll accept it, but this was in retrospect for what I've already provided. So I think this just gets us enough to now, and then you guys should take it from here.
The next time I see you, I will have a double dose of Heath Bar, peanut M&Ms, or jalapeno chips. You choose.
See, based on my level of trust for you, that means that I'm contributing now for what I might get in the future. So I'm having to make a decision right now.
On national TV and radio.
Exactly right. That I trust.
You trust me.
Well, I trust you a lot more than your partner.
Boom!
But, okay, that's good.
Yes. I have the trust.
That doesn't mean, by the way, that I said more. I didn't say trust. I said trust you more.
That's fair.
That was stopping short of trust.
I think we're on a slippery slope. Like in 4 years, are you delivering like Costco-sized crates of candy?
It's much like when you get married and you start based on the wedding ring or the engagement ring and how that all happens. Yeah. You set the bar pretty high. And
so you're saying we're in a relationship here?
Tenuous, but yes, in a relationship. These are the snacks that have been offered to the head coach at BYU for this segment right here.
We got a Hershey Kiss, a Baby Ruth, a Milky Way.
Is there some form of
what's that one? I don't even know.
Twitter in or feed that you can be getting responses back?
I'm sure there is. Please send in your responses to what you think about these snacks that we have offered up at Bronco Mendenhall.
The snacks on quality of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. And then that'll give these guys great feedback, knowing that I will be more likely to give fantastic interviews based on the quality of snacks from this point forward.
Here's a question from @Hobosita. Is quantity over quality the same thing as will over skill?
That's a great question. It is, and I'd prefer both.
Okay.
You want it all.
Yeah.
This interview is going in a direction I thought it had no chance of going.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I love it.
Football, right? It's a football Saturday at LaVelle Edwards Stadium, BYU Sports Nation, live with Bronco Mendenhall, the head football coach of the Cougars. There's so much anticipation for the season, and you look at the roster and the depth that you have coming back defensively in the secondary, and then all this linebacking talent coming in. Is there a time in your coaching tenure where you can remember on paper this much depth?
When I consider the chance to impact the team that we need to have and the positions we need to have impact the team, with receivers coming to what we already have, with linebackers coming to what we already have, with the addition of Graham Rowley and Travis Tuiloma, what I've already seen up front for the spring, we have very good talent. We have a lot of depth, and we have healthy players right now. And I think we have a favorable schedule, a strong schedule. But there's a lot at stake for this season. But I think we're lined up really well for 2014.
Your Mike and Buck linebackers, you replace a couple of seniors who go out, some of the best you've had here. But you throw in guys like Bikula, Leo Tadoyer. You have some talented freshmen coming in, other guys. How comfortable do you feel with those two positions?
The biggest question maybe going into spring was that spot. Maybe the most pleasant surprise so far is Zach Stout. We didn't know where he would be in terms of fitness level and mindset and coming back. And he didn't start as a starter this spring, but if I were to say today who would start at Mike linebacker, it would be Zach Stout, and Manoa Bikula would be the Buck linebacker with him, with Jeremiah right there and Austin Heater right there. So that question is being solidified each day, and today helped that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach Stout was the one that during the spring scrimmage today jumped up and tipped that pass that got intercepted. Is that correct?
Could have been. There was a lot happening out there, and knowing that I'm watching offensive players more right now, I can't give you an exact for sure on that. but could have been.
I think it was Zach Stout.
Okay.
By the way, we've got some fantastic tweets coming in. Here, this from @LittleRich14. Quality of snacks is a 2 out of 10.
Thank you very. What's his name?
@LittleRich14. Richard Leak is his name.
Richard. Just so you know, can I look directly into a camera somewhere? Where do I look?
It's also on the radio, so you have to.
So I really appreciate your insight and accuracy on watching the show, gauging what's happening, and then giving the influence and feedback. Feedback is a gift necessary to the two co-hosts of this, because we are shooting for elite standards. And again, if you could look at the snacks here, those are not elite snacks. So
there's some good stuff coming. What are those? Snacks for ants?
Thank you very much.
Snacks for ants.
I like that one as well.
Halloween leftovers. Walk away, Bronco.
Thank you very much.
Just walk away.
Thank you very much.
I think we found them in a closet in the Bell Edwards
It's been
Stadium.
nice visiting with you. Was that walk away?
No, we don't want you to walk away.
Okay.
He said walk away from the
good.
snacks, but we'd love for you to stay on and talk with us.
I want to ask you this. So the BYU women's basketball team, they're in the Sweet 16 against
Awesome,
Connecticut.
by the way.
Have you been following this a little bit? So
Yes.
they're playing today. I said that if BYU beats Connecticut, I'm going to shave my head next week on the show.
I love that.
Would you like to be a part of that if that happens?
You know, not really, but I just, but
Okay.
I would love that, and it might be a better look for you.
Wow. Okay.
By the
Shot
way-
fired. Shot number 8.
By the way, someone has just tagged this as the greatest interview ever.
Awesome.
Bronco.
Thank you very much.
So you're getting lots of love today.
I'm starting to emerge in my head coach personality. It's taken 9 years, but I'm starting to loosen up a little.
Approaching season number 10 with the BYU
Can you believe that?
Cougars.
This is going to be your 10th
10
season?
years.
I can't believe it.
I think
I would
after
have never bet if you were to have asked me and say, give me percentages that you'll make it through 10 seasons. 30 at the
Really?
highest, maybe.
in 2008, prior to the season, you had a couple of wristbands on. They were the same wristband. We were in the Bell Edwards Stadium, and I said, why do you have 5 of the same wristband? And you said, I have one for every season.
Yeah.
And I said, so when you get to 10 seasons, you're going to have 10 wristbands? And you said, I'm not going to be here 10 seasons. And I was like, what? It's the 10th season, buddy.
Gosh, what have I done?
Bronco Mendenhall, the head football coach of BYU, with us on a special spring football edition of BYU Sports Nation. 153 days away from the opening kickoff against the University of Connecticut. Now begins the long summer after spring football practice wraps up in a week or so. And Nick Howell told us that it's a very disciplined regime that you've given to your players, but really it's now up to the individual. How much trust do you have in your team that they're going to go and perform?
The leadership, the team has a saying, and they hear me say it all the time. Some like it, some don't like it, but it's very accurate. Each year, when our best players are the ones that train the hardest, those teams are really strong. And summer is a great way to gauge that. Right now, we have very good leadership. If you're talking about work ethic of Taysom Hill, one of our best players, really strong. If you talk about work ethic of Jamal Williams, really strong. If you talk about work ethic of Bronson Kafusi, really strong. And so when you start highlighting if your best players care most about the team and train like crazy, there's a super example. And this summer, NCAA rules have changed. We can have them in an off-season format for 9 weeks. We haven't been able to do that ever. So we'll have them for 9 weeks, but then they'll be on their own for 9, and that's what Nick was referring to.
Bronco Mendenhall is on BYU Sports Nation on BYUtv and BYU Radio live from LaBelle Edwards Stadium. He has his snacks.
Actually,
Did we find something good?
I've missed.
Did we find something good?
I've missed 2. There's a Snickers.
Oh,
And-
and a
yes.
Reese's.
And a Reese's.
We are coming back.
So that wasn't intentional, but just in good faith.
We peak late.
And based, I like that coming on late. So
Yeah,
just
fourth quarter.
continue with the ratings, because now this should be evaluated. It's like
Spike.
adding a couple of recruits late.
This is
or a guy coming off the IR.
Devon Blackman and
could be.
Fred Warner.
If that
Jordan Leslie?
neither, if it was those, you'd have to stack them, because that doesn't reflect Fred Warner or Devon or Leslie. There needed to be like a full or a king size for those.
King size ones. Wow.
Which is a nice thought. King
All right.
size snacks as opposed to these little micro snacks.
That's why I'm saying this is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Like in 4 years, it's going to be like this cart of candy
So let's start
for
as low
every
as
interview.
So let's start as low as possible.
That's
Is that what you're saying?
No.
Let's go as low as we can to start, which is basically what I see.
If this is 3 wins a season, let's just do 10 wins a season with
I like that.
king size stuff. Is that fair?
What do you got on the thing?
He wants to know. At JS Johnson, snacks rank 4, interview rank 100.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
I thought it was at a 10. 100's pretty high.
Apparently, it's really good.
I asked Nick Howell, who works out the most, who's in best shape, Kelly Popinga. Is that an accurate assessment?
Kelly Popinga would be accurate. Nick, strong second.
You guys lift
I'm
together?
I'm
or
the distant
just
third. No, I
run and
don't. I
stuff?
don't like being with those guys because they're younger and they're stronger.
Yeah.
And then I've got esteem issues I have to work through. So I can just pretend when I'm by myself that I'm the most fit, but we all know I'm not.
Coach,
Do you mind signing our flag?
I'm not sure yet. What is that?
I will deliver.
Listen.
Deliver.
I will deliver.
Give me one more great low snack rating comment.
Okay, here, let's find another.
Low.
Yeah.
Not any of them, to be fair to the people responding, but one that he wants.
Exactly right.
I think Coach Mendenhall is hinting that today's snacks are a 1 or lower.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
We carry this into the studio. We put it in. You're part of our team now.
I like that.
BYU Sports Nation. Fantastic stuff today.
Very good.
We appreciate
Thanks.
you coming on,
Coach,
Coach.
we will deliver the goods next time.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I'll do likewise.
All right. Oh, no, you delivered anyway. You paid it forward, man.
I trust that dude.
So am I done?
You are done.
Yeah.
Bronco
Walk-off.
Mendenhall, the
This is
head
called a walk-off right
coach, walking off the set. Up next, we're joined by the quarterback, Taysom Hill.